are listening to the One and Only Man Show with your host, a guy who, I don't know, what is it with you today, Kevin? I can't think of anything. A guy who's got all the answers.
No, no answers. No answers. How you doing today?
I'm doing excellent. I'm trying to be okay. I'm out of trouble. I'm trying to stay out of trouble.
You know, if I'm out of trouble, I'm definitely doing okay. So that means I'm here. I'm not locked up somewhere, so I'm doing good.
Okay,
you know?
You didn't get pulled over by the police anytime
they
recently?
leave me alone now, but I don't go down
good.
14th Avenue no more.
Okay,
so
there you go.
I just go US 1 and just come down the block from there.
Okay.
But, yeah, this weekend was pretty good, man. It's like, you know, I'm really excited because, like, you know, Central Assembly's getting ready for the Easter production, and we just started that yesterday, so that was pretty cool. And the first practice is usually the best because I'm in the choir. Did you know that?
Oh, that's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, and we don't tell everybody it, but I really am a star of the choir. I've got the best voice there.
You do. I can tell.
That's why they don't give me the solos because it's just not fair to everybody.
Yeah, that's true.
If I do that. Only kidding, Pastor Billy, don't kick me out.
And where did you learn all that? And it wasn't
the shower.
Brooklyn.
I learned it in the shower. Yeah, I realized I was that good.
So other people can learn too.
Yeah, and I sound best in the choir because my voice gets hidden, so it's the best.
Right,
you know?
it's muffled, we call that.
Muffled. No, they just don't give me a microphone. They just refuse to do that. So
You're just a cappella.
Yeah, kind of. I don't know what they call it, but it's something like that.
Well, that's kind of a sane thing to say, a cappella.
But you know what? I got some really good singers in the studio.
You do.
I really do.
You do.
I do. I have Steve Short. I got Steve Newcomb, and then I got their boss, Linda Short.
And that's good. We got to bring Linda here. Let me get everybody. Here we go.
Let's see. They are. There they go.
There's everybody.
There they go. Linda's the good-looking one. The other two guys, I don't know about.
I thought you liked them guys.
They're good guys. They're just not good-looking, you know?
Oh.
But no, they are. But they got, they do something pretty cool. Which is nice. They actually travel the country, and actually, I'm going to say they kind of travel the world.
Yeah, they do.
They've been out of the United States doing these great plays. They're Christian plays, correct? I'm going to start with Linda because she's the boss. Oh. All right, she's gonna give me all the answers here. But you guys were doing. I know you were doing like a resurrection production, right, on Jesus Christ, right?
Well, it's called His Story.
His Story, which is His Story. I mean, it starts right there. And but give me the name of your organization, which is pretty awesome.
His Majesty's Ministries.
That's very cool. But the reason why they're here today is they have come up with a new production that I'm really interested in because I was totally wrong when they first started telling me about it.
Not you.
No, not me. They were telling me it was about Martin Luther, so right away I assume Martin Luther King. And there, and this new production is called By Faith Alone, correct?
Right.
So I'm going to skip over to Steve Short. He's going to tell me a little bit about By Faith Alone.
Okay, By Faith Alone is kind of a biography of what we call the Reformation in Christianity. Mm-hmm. Martin Luther was the one that God used to bring a Reformation because of a lot of the abuses that were in Christianity at the time. And he was just an ordinary guy who he was on his way to be a lawyer, and and he got struck by lightning.
Wow. Okay, double wow.
and so cried out to Saint Anne and said, "If you will save me, I'll become a monk."
Okay.
Wow.
And he didn't die, so he became a monk. He kept his word.
Right.
And that's where the struggle began. He could not seem to find lasting peace with God with doing the sacraments of the church. Mm-hmm. And so he was seeking with all of his heart for that peace. And he wanted to know that he knew that he was going to heaven.
Right.
And he didn't have that peace. And so that same search that every person goes through, he went through, and it's just a good example he's almost like Peter in the Bible, the extreme example.
Right.
Well, that's the way Martin Luther is. He's the extreme of everything that we've ever asked, every question we've ever asked.
Right.
It really plagued him, and he just had to have the answers. And so that's how all the trouble started. He wrote down, now, today we might say he was obsessive compulsive. Because how many people write down 95 things I would like to discuss with the faculty on theology?
Right.
95 things, not 3 things, 95 things. His 95 theses. This year is the 500th anniversary of him posting his 95 theses.
That was pretty interesting when you guys were telling me that. So, Steve Newcomb, tell me, why are you doing this production? Well, go ahead.
Can I just interject
You
something?
sure can, Linda.
I wanted everybody to know that Steve Newcomb wrote this whole play himself.
Really?
Wow.
He wrote all the songs. He wrote every bit of it. And so I definitely wanted everybody to...
You are totally the production guy.
Well, it's kind of interesting. Where this really started was back in 2008. A church I was attending at the time, the Sunday sermon included some quotes from Martin Luther. And I thought, gee, that might be an interesting monologue. I was doing monologues, dramatic monologues at the time. So started meeting with the pastor, and we came up with a 30-minute monologue, included it in the worship service that Reformation Sunday is the last Sunday of October. That's the official acknowledgement of Reformation, because he posted the 95 Theses on October 31st. So there's remembrance of that day. So that was back in 2008. And then as I realized that this anniversary was coming up, I thought, we need to do a drama that includes our entire cast. And the monologue didn't have music. It didn't have a lot of stuff that our other productions do. So we decided it was a significant event that needed to be brought to the church's attention. A lot of churches have no idea who Martin Luther was.
Mm-hmm. Right. I didn't.
And why he's important.
Yeah.
So I'd had the groundwork laid at that point in time of some of the research, but I did a lot more research, and of course we had to create the songs and decide how to incorporate other characters for Linda and Steve to play. And I have to tell you, Steve and Linda play multiple parts in this production because they couldn't just be one thing, because the story includes so many characters.
Right.
It's a very colorful story. So Steve plays, he plays Martin's father. He plays the moderator at what's called the Diet of Worms, where Martin was put on trial for heresy. He plays a townsperson, and Linda plays another handful of characters. We have this costume rack in the back of our backdrop, and it's just, there's pegs. Just the whole 30 feet across is filled with costumes hanging because everybody's going backstage and changing to become the next character.
And how long does the production last, Linda?
About 54 minutes.
About 54 minutes.
She nailed it.
Not 55, 54 minutes.
It keeps coming up 54, and we keep saying, okay, I think it's going to work out once we're doing it, with Charlotte, his wife, does our sound and lighting.
Right.
And once she does it, I think, and Steve's not having to go over and press the button for songs and all that stuff. We think we can get it down to a little less than that.
So your first production is when? Because I know it's coming up real soon, right?
It is this coming Sunday, February 19th. It's at Morning Star Presbyterian Church, 10 a.m. Morning Star is off of Oslo, just west of US 1. It's Timber Ridge.
Is the development. So you turned into Timber Ridge, okay.
And it's right there. So
and can they purchase tickets? Or
It's free. It's just a church service. Visitors are welcome to come. They're encouraged to come, and we hope they come.
Right. Okay, and encouraged to donate something. I think that would be cool. That's how you can buy more costumes and keep this going on, right?
Well, God, on that note, just real quickly, God has just been so good to us. We basically have been doing this full-time since 2009. Wow. We have never been in want for what we needed to do next. God has faithfully provided many times far in abundance to what we thought we needed. And right now we are prepared to be moving forward to the point where we're planning a West Coast tour starting middle of August to go for at least a couple months out west, California, Oregon, Washington, and then back across through Arizona, Texas, South Carolina. I forget what we're talking about.
So I'm basically going to see you guys next Christmas. Is what that means.
That's when we'll be back.
You'll calm down around Thanksgiving, and then we'll see you around the holidays again.
Well, that's what we do is because we base out of Bluefield, West Virginia the rest of the year, but we come down here. We're like those snowbirds.
Oh, yeah.
And we come down from December usually till April. After Easter, we do our last play at Easter, and then we head back up to...
And you gear up and you go again.
Yes.
That's amazing. Yeah. So explain the 95. How? Let me ask you this. How is this going to relate to the people sitting in the audience so they get it?
Well, that's a good question. And we wanted the average person to be able to understand Martin's story. Because there's so much. When you research something like this, your brain just goes crazy. You want to explode because there's so many interesting historical details. But we tried to simplify it so people really understood the main point of Martin's life. The 95 Theses had to do with the practice of the church at the time. You'd go to the priest and make a confession, and the priest would say, okay, you're forgiven, but you need to now go and give money to the poor, or go and do some things to complete this forgiveness. Well, there came a practice in the church called indulgences. An indulgence was something you bought to take the place of the going and doing something or giving money as the completion of the forgiveness. So Martin, the 95 Thesis was really to talk about this practice of indulgences and what was good about them, what was bad about them, what maybe should be changed about them. And that was really just the tiniest baby step forward by Martin towards the Reformation. He wasn't against them. He wasn't anti-pope. He wasn't anti-church. He was just saying, you know, maybe if you're poor and you barely have enough money for your family, you shouldn't be buying indulgences.
Right.
So that's where it all started. But what happened, he got assigned, as he grew in his duties as a priest, he got assigned to the University of Wittenberg to teach the Bible. Well, he was kind of learning the Bible as he taught the Bible.
Right.
He was getting exposed to God's truth, perhaps at a deeper level than ever before. And just step by step, God took him forward to the point where indulgences were something that were okay, but let's be careful how we use them, to being an abomination of God's being saved by faith alone.
Right. Let me hold you right there. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back and we'll get a lot deeper into this, okay? All right.
Don't miss the Shrimp Fest and Craft Brew Hullabaloo, February 25th and 26th. It's a free, fun 2-day family festival in Fellsmere. Enjoy a variety of signature shrimp dishes created by 7 local restaurants. Taste local craft beer on Saturday from over 15 brewers and home brews on Sunday. Live music, vendors, exhibitors, and kids' activities by Home Depot. Funds raised will support youth sports activities. Shrimp Fest, February 25th and 26th in Fellsmere. Details at shrimpfestfl.com.
New Vision Eye Center offers bladeless laser cataract surgery. Doctors Paul Minotti and Stephen Tate want you to be fully informed about all of your options available when it's time for your cataract surgery. We offer a gentle, bladeless, computer-guided procedure. This technology offers unsurpassed accuracy and precision. Visit cataractsurgeryverobeach.com or call 772-257-8700. Providing world-class eye care on the Treasure Coast. That's New Vision Eye Center in Vero Beach.
Complete Employee Solutions in Vero Beach wants to ask, what could your business achieve if you weren't taking up precious time with payroll, tax compliance, HR, and the like? If you're a small, growing business, it can be tough keeping up to date with increasing payroll and tax regulations. Without a proactive plan to help you manage your back office burdens, achieving your business goals could get sidelined. Hiring Complete Employee Solutions will allow you to have a paperless payroll and HR tools so you can improve compliance that will attract and retain valued employees. Save time and improve your bottom line. Complete Employee Solutions does paperless payroll and employee leasing too. Complete Employee Solutions. Join the team and feel complete. 567-6333.
And we are back on the One and Only Man Show with your host, Kevin Mann. You got a great conversation going,
I got
Kevin.
to tell you, we got a deep conversation going today. And right before Steve was Steve Newcomb was telling us about the 95. I'm going to call it the 95 because I think it's really cool. But Steve, Steve Short, not Newcomb. Okay.
We got double Steves in
we got double Steves.
in
We
the
got
audience.
bookends today.
We got everything.
Steve Square.
Steve Square. How long does it take for you guys to, because I know you're doing multiple productions, and we'll get into that in a second, but how long does it take to get ready for this?
Wow.
Because I know how busy you guys are.
Mm-hmm.
You guys do so many different things, but for this, how long did it take you guys?
Well, he started writing this probably 6 months ago.
Oh, no, a year
more than
ago.
that.
A year
Yeah.
ago?
It was a year ago, yeah.
And then different circumstances caused us not to be able to rehearse a whole lot, but we did everything that we could within our powers. We were back in September or
August.
August is when we regrouped and we started doing this. Then we were separated. We were in Florida. He was in West Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he came back to Florida.
Well, we went up there in November.
Right.
And rehearsed for a month and got some of our props ready.
Wow.
And yes.
So you guys do it all. Costumes, props, production, the whole 9 yards, right?
Steve Newcomb's wife does our costuming with a lot. I think Steve will probably want to tell you about this, that it's been amazing.
I remember years ago when I saw your other production, your wife was doing the board and the light and sound.
She still does.
She still does it, right?
On top of the costumes, and since this is a period piece that's a different era than biblical era, which is all our others are based in, this is a whole new ball game of costumes because this is 1500s we're talking about. You can't wear a tunic and a Bible robe for these productions.
Right. So Linda, give us the date again.
It's this coming Sunday, February 19th at Morning Star Presbyterian on Oslo and...
Development is
Timber Ridge.
Timber Ridge is the development, right?
Yes.
The church is back there.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be fun. That's really going to be fun. And this is the beginning of your tour, which is really great.
Yes.
Yep.
This is our debut.
It's the world premiere.
The world premiere.
Oh, wow. We should have a drum roll.
I'm very honored then because I get to put it out there first. This is really cool. Well, let me give you my number. My number is 772-226-0381. So if you have any questions, you want to find out where, when, what time, go ahead and give me a call. And also, I'll make sure I get a list from you guys about future dates and where. Okay? I know there's a website. Tell me about the website.
Website's HISMM.com. Stands for His Majesty's Ministries. HisMM.com. We have a tab that says schedule, and they can see everywhere we're going to be.
Oh, that's great.
Yep.
That's great. You guys got like the whole real thing going on, the whole tour dates, and I'm kind of really digging that. Now tell me about some of the other productions that you got, because I know there's just not this. There's something else there are other things that are happening, right?
Oh, yes. Well, we have, this is our 6th production, and we have a Christmas one called Perspectives of Christmas. We have one called The Fisherman and the Pharisee about Peter and Paul.
Right.
It was our new one until we did this one. So it was our second to the last. We have his story that you had mentioned earlier.
Right.
And we have a play called Parables, which is about the parables of Jesus.
That's awesome.
And also The Last Supper.
Oh my gosh.
Come on, Linda. You're supposed to be the boss.
Our first one that we ever did was The Last Supper.
Was The Last Supper?
Yes.
Let me ask you a question about the website. Is there a donate tab on there?
There is.
That's what I wanted to hear. So everybody out there listening, it is hismm.com. What we want to do is we want to keep this ministry going. So find it in your heart. Find a little space in that wallet. I know you guys are walking around a bunch of hundreds out there. So why don't we drop one to the website? It's called hismm.com. They have a donate tab that you can click, and you definitely can donate. If you forget what I said, it's 772-226-0381. Call me anytime. I'll be more than happy to tell you about it. So tell me something else. Tell me something I didn't ask. Steve.
Okay.
I love putting him on the spot.
3 of our plays only require us as actors, and the other 3 require volunteers from wherever we go.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
So,
if it's a church or like we do, we're going to be doing one at a church here in town for their prime timers. And so we use people from their congregation, they're from the prime timers.
What are prime timers?
That's it. I think it's 60 and over.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
All right, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
and they are taking some volunteers from Master's Academy, I believe it's called.
Right.
Some of the students, the high school students, are going to be a part of it too, to round out our cast.
So do you start here? Is this like base? You start here and kind of branch out a little bit in Florida, then go out? Is that how you do it, or?
Well, like I said, it's during the time from December to April we're here, and then we go back to Bluefield, West Virginia, and base out of there because it's, trying to base out of Florida, and look at how long you have to just get out of Florida. So we base out of Bluefield, West Virginia, and we go wherever, we feel called to go. And people open up the doors for us to come, and we go.
I know, speaking to you guys prior, you're pretty packed out. The schedule's looking pretty heavy, huh?
Well, it is right now for down here, and now we're working on. We think we've got it all taken care of for the summer. There's so many places that are wanting this new play that have had us before.
Oh, that's had you there before. That's right.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So you do return engagements then to the same places.
Right. Yes. In fact, the hardest part is getting a pastor to let us come into his congregation. But once we do, they love us.
That's it. You keep calling you back.
And they do.
One thing I want to mention about the content of all of the dramas that we've talked about is they all have the gospel message in them.
Right.
Steve and I have been very careful as we've written the scripts together and the songs that they hear throughout a single production, the entire gospel, along with a testimony perhaps that we give at the end of one of the dramas.
Right. So with this one here, me sitting in the seat, will I get it?
I think this will speak to almost any person at any way along the spiritual journey they might be on.
Okay, good.
Because Martin struggled with, if I can do enough good, I'll be able to please God.
Right.
And I think even in churches today, there are many, many people that still think that I need to do something to please God.
Right.
And then all the way to where he truly came to understand there's nothing I can do to please God on my own.
Right.
I am a sinner at the core, and I cannot change that. The only way I can find righteousness is by faith that he gives me to believe that Christ was my salvation, took the place of my sin, and gave me his righteousness. So I think all that whole spectrum of what do I do to be a good person, to how do I find salvation, that whole road is going to be, everybody's somewhere on that road.
So let me ask you a question. Did Martin Luther, at the end of this, did he find his peace? Did he get his answers?
Oh, absolutely.
That's awesome.
There's a very dramatic scene where you see him come to find that peace
That's
with
his
God.
aha moment where he gets it. And...
It's exactly what's written in our script.
Really?
We have something called the aha music.
I have the inside scoop, Cindy. I got the first hand.
You do.
That's pretty cool.
That's
pretty cool. So the name of this production is called By Faith Alone.
Right.
All right, and Linda, give us the scoop. Where it's going to be the first time out?
It's this Sunday, February 19th at Morning Star Presbyterian on Oslo at Timber Ridge.
So what we want to do out there is we want to show up. Okay, we want standing room only. Matter of fact, I'd love to have some screens outside where people can't see. I don't know what the capacity is, but whatever it is, let's fill the house.
And did you say what time it was?
Oh, 10 a.m.
10 a.m.
10 a.m.
Okay.
Fantastic. This was exciting. This was really good.
Yeah.
So how long are we going with this production? Is this all year?
Oh, well, we're doing this one probably the most this year, but we're also doing Fisherman and the Pharisee. We already have scheduled. We have Last Supper a couple of times.
Wow, you guys stay really crazy busy.
Yeah, so
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's always fun going between the different one week doing one play and another doing the other. But
your husband's so trying to get a word in. Will you keep quiet for a second, please?
I know, because I want to tell them.
Just no. Just sit there, Stephen. Shut up.
When we have actually done a play in the night at Weta Church, and then the next day do a different one at that same place.
Okay.
So
Well, I have to cut you off, okay? Because this is it. So thank you for tuning into the one and only Man Show by faith alone. It's February 19th, okay? Everybody, let's get out there. Let's get out there and see it. And Steve, I'll just get you here alone next time so you can speak, okay? Guys, thanks for tuning in.